Hello. Oh, geez. This might be picking up the fan. Hold on. We're just going to turn the fan off to be safe. You don't hear it? Okay, it's probably just on my end then. But I'll turn it off for now because it's... Except for the fans in chat. Aww. Oh, sorry, Ron. So I'm still eating my dinner because I basically get off work and then I like rush home and feed the dogs and make myself food and then start streaming, which is fine, but it means I'm always running a little bit behind on Tuesdays. Let me get caught up on chat. Hello, 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 everyone. You're cool with the bun bun mukbang as long as you don't have to hear it. Oh my gosh, Nina, that reminds me. I need to make pumpkin soup soon. There's a specific type of Japanese pumpkin soup that I like to make. Usually it involves pork, so I'll have to figure that out. I really should make that. I've been like waiting for it to get cold so I can start cooking soups again. And y'all, the second we had a cold day, I know it not cold, just like not hot. I made leek and potato soup, and then I made kimchi stew last night, and that's what I'm eating now. I have kimchi stew, so we're gonna mukbang it for a minute before we start drawing. Let me fix. How is the music? Can anyone hear it? I can't hear it. Why can't I hear it? Let's see. Music, where are you? You want all of that? Let's see. Okay, so oh wait, you guys, I can't even read chat right now. So I love scones. So scones made with real pumpkin, because that's what I'm curious about. Because most of the times when people say they love pumpkin, they don't love pumpkin. They love pumpkin pie seasoning, which has no pumpkin in it, right? So I'm very curious. Hi Frog, how are you doing? Nina, hello. Nicole, hello. I want an update on the babies too. They've not all been found, but there were 5 more. But how do you know they're not all? You know how many were hidden? How do you know? Oh, you just looked up what the bag, like how many come in a bag? How do you know? Hi PCM. Yes, we're gonna be working on some D&D character art tonight. We have 2 characters we're gonna work on tonight, I think. You want potage? I think it's potage. What is potage though? You can hear the music. Okay. That weird soup. What is potage? Potage just means thick soup. Oh, I thought it meant potatoes. Okay, they come in a bag of like 50, so you know there's about 50. Well, good luck with the baby hunt at your library. Okay, so how do we mukbang? We're gonna do it. So I made from scratch kimchi stew. I bought the kimchi. It's actually not very good kimchi. I regret the kimchi choice. And so we have kimchi stew on rice with tofu, and it's a chicken broth based stew because I'm trying to not eat pork. And I have an egg in here that I just cooked to add a little protein to it. And I was out of green onions, sadly. So it's not as delicious as it should be because the kimchi is subpar and there's no green onions. Kimchi stew usually has pork, which is way more delicious than this, but that's okay. And the egg turned out good, but Village, your trick, the verdict is out on the egg trick. I did the thing, I did the tap, and I heard it. And I feel like it was easier to peel, but not that much easier. I don't know. If you come over, I have an entire like Le Creuset pot of kimchi stew right now, so please come over. Invisible seal is kicking your butt. I don't know what that means. Imagine having one of those. What you really want is baked potato soup. I was gonna make baked potato soup, and then I ended up making potato and leek soup, which has a different name, a French name, but I can't remember. Subpar kimchi is the worst, like when it's barely fermented yet. What the fuck? Why would they even sell it that way? This one's just like mild and flavorless. Like it's fine. It's not bad. It's just like they were out of like I went to the Asian market, right? And they had a bunch of empty sections on the kimchi shelf where clearly all the good kimchi used to be, but those were all gone and sold out. So I bought the like branded, like corporate looking, nice looking logo kimchi that no one else was buying, and it just wasn't good. Usually I go for the ones that look like somebody's grandma made them and wrote the label in a Sharpie. That's usually how you want to buy your kimchi. Yeah, leek and potato is so good. Vichwa? How do I say it? I don't really know French. But I love that soup. It's so good. It's one of my favorite soups as well. I add cheese to mine at the end because I don't know. I'll add cheese to anything if people don't stop me. Vichyssoise? It's French, right? Okay, we're gonna try eating. Village, if you can hear it, be honest and tell me. Still so good. Oh, like a cheese bread to eat with it is such a good idea. Because that's what, I didn't have any bread. That would have been good. Yeah, French onion is so good. I love to make that too. I'm working on a more vegetarian friendly version of French onion soup. I'm not quite there yet, but I've been using like fake chicken stocks, and I'm going to try adding some like maybe some soy and fish, because I still eat fish. I was adding some soy and some like fish sauce to it to give it that like umami. Maybe some like cook some mushrooms in it to get that like kind of meaty umami flavor. I haven't like figured it out yet. Oh yeah, gluten-free. That's true. I love Brazilian cheese bread. It's just a bowl of thin cheese, your favorite soup. What about broccoli cheese soup? That's basically just cheese as soup. And you could just leave out the broccoli, I suppose. Yeah, I have that on my shopping list. I'm just using up the actual chicken bouillon I have now because I'm still eating chicken right now. I'm just trying to get, I don't want to waste food. The goal is just to reduce meat. So there's no reason to waste any food. And then I'm going to buy that next. I don't even like broccoli. I actually hate broccoli. And I think that's one of the better soups out there. The trick is to make it like really cheesy and creamy and not too much broccoli. Vegan chicken gravy with it, and it was pretty good. Oh, interesting. I'll have to try that. I do like tortilla soups, but if I'm going to make a tortilla soup, I'm probably just going to make chili instead. And then put Fritos and cheese on it. Peas are the worst vegetable, actually. Peas are worse than broccoli. Some people eat pea soup. Vegan mashed potatoes with vegan butter, and you liked it better than the real thing? I don't believe you, Village. Lies. Lies. Deceit. That's true, Nicole. You were so confused. Sorry, anyone, if you're new here. We will do art, but I'm late start today. I had a lot of work to do today. Don't ruin pea soup. Pea soup is already ruined. Did you put a lot of garlic in it? I actually haven't seen that movie, Nicole. I want to watch some of the horror movies that are classics that I've never watched, but I need someone to hold my hand. Nicole, will you hold my hand? So I'm not scared. The ones on the top of my list are The Shining. I know it's your favorite, but I've never seen it. The Shining, The Exorcist, and Silence of the Lambs are top of the list. but I also really want to watch. I need to fix my headphones, but you guys should still be able to hear me. And I need to watch. Here is a hand. Thanks, Frog. Corn Cob, Children of the Corn. I don't know that I care about that one too much unless someone says I should really watch it. The other ones I really want to watch are, I've never seen any of the Scream movies or like the Jason, Freddy, any of those ones. Like I've never seen any of the classic like teens getting murdered. The only one I've seen is Urban Legends. Is that one? Which I love. And I've seen Blair Witch, which terrifies me. Every time I even think about that movie, I'm terrified. Scream is so good. Yeah, I really want to watch Scream. I do actually really like Urban Legends. I thought that was a fun movie. I watched, what was the one that I watched and it actually scared me, and that's why I haven't watched any of these other ones. Why my headphones don't want to work. I mean, it's fine if they don't want to work. I guess I don't need them. You guys can hear me, right? So it's never too late, Village. Corn Cob Children. What's the main one that I'm asking? Oh gosh, I hate that platform. I saw today that they make a bumper sticker that you can put on your Tesla that says something like, I bought this before I realized Elon was crazy. And I'm like, I need that just to plaster over my whole life. You've learned Arabic, Russian, and German, but forget it after a month if you don't use it. Yeah, I'm the same. Like when I was in Japan, I could get by with like some basic stuff, and now I couldn't tell you what any of it is. Same with Korean. It's so good. It's such a good bumper sticker. I need it for our Tesla so bad. What is it? What is there? There's a horror movie that I'm forgetting that I feel like is a classic one. Blair Witch did scare me really bad. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. Anyways, it's almost spooky season. So I haven't seen Psycho. I haven't seen Chucky. I haven't seen horror on, it's Nightmare on Elm Street Village. I haven't seen Halloween. I have no interest in watching Chucky, honestly. Yeah, I haven't seen The Shining. I really want to see Silence of the Lambs. And I haven't seen Puppet Master. I haven't seen any of these. Nicole, I have a book question for you. Should I read this book? Loading. How to access my email? There it is. Oh, Jeepers Creepers. Thank you, Icy. That was the one that I did see, and it scared me so bad that I stopped watching horror movies for a really long time. Jeepers Creepers terrified me, and The Ring terrified me, and Blair Witch terrified me, and that's why I don't watch horror movies, because those all gave me nightmares, and I couldn't sleep for like a week after each one. I had to watch The Birdcage on repeat every night just to fall asleep after I watched The Ring. It was the worst. I do want to see the Pinhead movies. That's not the name of the movie, but I do want to see those. Those are different. I want to see Pet Sematary. I love Village. I love your weird lack of knowledge on this, because it's not that you just don't know, it's that you think you know and you're just saying random words that are very close, but they're not right, and it's very amazing. Was Pet Sematary really scary? Should I not watch that? Hellraiser, thank you. I knew Nicole would know. Nicole knows all of this. I'm trying. That's okay. I'm not judging you. I just think it's adorable. Okay. Should I read the book Something Wicked This Way Comes? Have you read it? Does anybody here read it? You just bought that? I guess that means I should read it. Really, Nicole? It's a book. I don't know. Is it a movie too? You only hear the music? Ray Bradbury, that's right. You hear no music? I think it's a stupid song. Okay, that's better. No worries, Icy. How are you doing, by the way, Icy? Full of carbs? It's your birthday? Icy, happy birthday! What carbs did you eat? I'm almost done. I'm at the bottom where it's just like the rice that was saturated in the soup. Ooh, pasta and garlic bread. Yeah, I hope you got some cake too. Although you don't eat sugar usually, do you? Oh, you are gonna have cake? Okay, good, good, good. You have to have cake on your birthday. This is so good. Even subpar kimchi stew is still delicious. The Trader Joe's teppanyaki was really good. Had to tell me if I'm saying that right. It was really good, but it wasn't like amazing. And then I found out today that Costco has frozen or pre-made like instant teppanyaki that is really good. So I want to try that. Gotta do a Costco trip. Yeah, you gotta just cheat for your birthday. You have to. It's like a D sound. Tteokbokki, is that correct? Oh, Nicole. Thank you so much for that birthday sub for Icy. Oh my gosh, thank you. Okay, let's zoom in and I'll show you guys what I'm doing with this piece. So we'll get started while I'm still eating. So let me show you. I can figure it out. What I did. Let me open it up so we can do a side by side actually. I'm supposed to open over there, internet, and there you go. Internet? That was the wrong word. For anyone that's new, we're working on character art for our campaign that's on this channel on Fridays, but you might say, if you've been here before, but Batman, you already did character art for this campaign. That's correct, but I decided to update it a little bit. So I'm updating one of the character arts because I felt like it could be better. And it's my art, and I make the rules for my art. So I do what I want. Okay, I'm trying to get this side by side so we can talk about it because I think it's interesting. Okay, wait. So what should I read? I should read that book, Nicole. I should get it from the library right now and read it for Halloween, or is it too scary? Will it scare me? I need to know. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Okay, what? Yes, I'll get the book. Okay. What? In 3 days. Are you coming here or is he going there? I'm guessing he's going there. Sorry, everyone. I'm almost done. I'm on the last bite. Just kidding. One more bite. I selfishly want you to be visiting him, but I know that's not going to be the case. I feel like we missed a message, Nicole. I was like, there's something missing. Oh, nice. Weddings are fun. I love weddings. Okay, bear with me. I'm just getting the rest of the kimchi out of my teeth, and then we're gonna go. Then it's go time. MacLeod. They're getting MacLeod. Next to that cut. Lurk away, I see. Lurk away. Birthday lurks. Yeah, that's awesome. That's so exciting. And it's Minnesota time. Hi, Chinner. How are you doing? Took a picture at work. I was going to show you some, and I was going to ask you if you wanted them, but now it's probably too late. There was a free table, and on the free table, there were like World of Warcraft themed hot sauces. I don't know where they came from or who made them. They're probably like old. Hi, Chicken Joe. How are you doing? Boston baked beans with hot dogs and toasted buns that I get to dip in the beans. That sounds really good, actually. I just want lobster rolls. Can I just have lobster rolls every day of my life? Macaroni and cheese and garlic butter wings. That sounds good too. Once again, the music is being freaking stupid. I'm sorry, I know this is probably annoying, but I just can't handle the silence on my end. Little peony rice? You got some little peonies? You eating little peonies with your cheese and wings? Yeah, not peony. Little peony. You gotta get it right. Just a little bored. Well, we're about to talk about some art, so hopefully that'll make you less bored? I don't know. we were aware, Nicole. They're called lupini beans, and they're not technically a bean. They're a seed, I think, but they're really low carb. And you can use lupini to make a lot of low carb versions of things. I used it to make hummus when I was doing keto. It was pretty good. Hi, Yop. How are you doing? Sorry, I'm trying to make sure there's not food in my teeth. I don't want my face recorded with food in my teeth. Sandwich, are you sleepy? Are you worn out? Sandwich went to work with me and she got all the pets today. Lots of treats. Everyone spoils her. Oh no. That's amazing, Nicole. I'm curious how that tastes, Village. Little bunny foo-foo. Oh no. I just thought up dirty lyrics to that song and I'm very amazed by it. Yeah, we said some little, we're just talking about little peenies. We're just talking about little peenie beans. Nicole. I love that song. Little peenies and foo-foos. That's what we're talking about. Okay. That's what you used for your mac and cheese? Village. Use real cheese if you're gonna make keto mac and cheese. That's one of the glorious things of doing keto is you get to eat all the real cheese. You added real cheese too? Okay, good, good, good. Okay, let's do art. Let's do art. I still wanted to talk about pumpkins too. We never got to talk about that. We went right off the topic. I wanted to know if people actually like pumpkin when you say you like pumpkin, or do people like pumpkin spice, which is not pumpkin? I'm curious if people actually like pumpkin here. You needed radioactive orange color. I like both. I like both pumpkin pie spice flavored things, and I like real pumpkin flavored things. But I feel like people don't always, it's never clear what people mean when they say it. I love pumpkins. I want to go pumpkin picking soon. Oh, interesting. Hate watermelon flavor. See, I love real watermelon and watermelon flavor. Interesting, but they're not the same thing at all. Sorry, I have like a hair or something itching. Same as you were passed out. Both dogs are like dead passed out. Cherries and banana. Okay, why is this song so much louder? Well, that's not awful for you all. Is that super loud? It's made by Disney, so it's not gonna be that scary. I'm not gonna be super scared by it. Or will I? Okay, let's talk about art. So I had this drawing of the character Taj from our game, and I was on a deadline to get these done. So I clearly, at some point, was just like, okay, whatever, I'm done with it. But then I was thinking about how I really wanted to update it, and I know Mac wasn't super happy with it. She wasn't like complaining. She's like super nice. But I knew that I could do it better, is the thing. And every time I'd see the art come up when we were streaming, it just like kind of bummed me out because I knew it wasn't right, and it wasn't right for the character. So I was like, you know what? These are my rules. I'm in charge here. I'm doing it. So I decided to update it. So I went back and looked at the reference photos she sent me, and I looked at the existing piece and I figured out what it was that was bothering me, and then I worked with her to fix it. So Mac gave me like a little bit of direction. The number one thing she wanted was kind of like a sexier pose, because Taj is a very kind of sexy, flirty character who's very much like gonna like wink at you, but she's also a little bit like aloof, right? So she's a little bit like sexy and she knows it. And that's like her character's vibe. And I think it's really important to try to convey the character's vibe in the character art when you can. Yeah, I know, Max. Max said the music's loud. It's because it wasn't loud enough before. I hate this playlist. The volumes are all, it's not your fault, Max. The volumes are just all over the place. Is that better? Is that better for everyone? Thank you, Max. Let me know if you want to. I can turn it down more too. Okay, thank you, thank you. This character looks like the girl from Hunchback of Notre Dame. I love Esmeralda. I love the Disney Esmeralda. I don't know that I love her in the book or anything. So we had a couple things. She didn't fit the vibe of the character, like the personality and the vibe. She also didn't look very like piratey to me. And like after I got to know her character better, I was like, oh, she's very much like a pirate. And also the outfit that I gave her made her look really, she's really covered up. And that's not really like how I would picture a Taj to dress. And she's also really like stiff looking. Like you can see here, like I'm just gonna do a little like paint over so I can talk through it. Like you can see how like her shoulders are very like stiff here and everything's very like stiff. And then her legs are turned in a way that doesn't feel comfortable either. It's very stiff and awkward. And then also like she looks short. Usually when you're drawing a character, you take a head and the same head length should be, you can use it to measure out your proportions. I think it's like 2 for the torso and then like 3 for the legs or something. It's like technically correct, but it's not right. She just looks really short and she's kind of T-posing. So very stiff and kind of static. The pose is not interesting. I thought she was using a different spell focus than she was, so I drew the pose imagining that she'd be holding like a crystal ball or some tarot cards, but that's not the case. So then I had to like make it be magic, and it's not the kind of magic that makes sense for her either. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna change it. Her boots are too, like, look how big her foot and boot is compared to like her head. So then I realized like, oh, her head's too small. And then I realized her hair is not flowing in the wind like everything else. So that was another problem. This little like bolero jacket just isn't very piratey or interesting in any way. So I got rid of that. And I really wanted to emphasize the flowy and drapiness of the fabrics and the mismatch of them. So you can see here, I added some different colors into the fabrics. I made her shoes a little bit smaller. I moved the legs to be like a slightly more natural looking pose. I simplified some of the shapes and the outline, and I gave her a more relaxed pose. And then I moved the spells over into just one hand, so it feels a little bit more relaxed and natural. And then I added a little bit of wind to the hair. So those are the changes I made. And then I completely changed the top of the outfit. One thing we do want to do is add the potion bottles back in. I had to cover them just to like get this to work, but I'm going to add those back in because Mac did really like those. So we're going to add those back in, and then we're going to go in and redo the top. And it's like a little bit like a leather top and then like a shirt underneath it. Not that it matters, but her not having a belly button is triggering you. Technically her belly button should be probably like right there. It might be under the thing, but I think we can add it like right there. It'll look a little bit better, right? So I want to add that, and then I want to add some of the potions back in, and I want to bring these fabrics in a little bit, and then maybe add like another element to them here so they look a little more flowy. So those are the goals for the new pieces. I need to work on those, and I need to clean up the top. So we're gonna do that. You like that? So I think this will work. But yeah, I think it's important to always try not to be forced to do your character art in a rush, and give yourself time to like sleep on it and think on it so that you can keep an eye on it and make sure that it feels right. That was something that I really wanted to be careful about, is I wanted to make sure that we weren't falling into stereotypes with the outfit. And I do feel like the new outfit is definitely going to lean more that way. But I think by me trying so hard to avoid it, I was kind of painting myself into a corner. And I think the things that I'm keeping do feel very piratey as well. And for those that don't know me well, I also love historical costuming and historical dress, but sometimes I do let that get in the way of drawing a fantasy character. So I think I leaned on that too much for the first one, and now I want to lean a little bit more into like typical fantasy wear. Yeah. You love to draw, but you've never translated that into digital drawing. But one thing you definitely learned over the years is to walk away and come back to things you were working on. Yes, it is so important. It is just one of the most important things you can do if you have the time for it. Or get, like Village says, getting another pair of eyes to look at it. Another trick is we'll flip the canvas so that you can look at the same piece but flipped. So your eyes are no longer looking at the thing that they've grown accustomed to, and you can see what looks wrong more easily. But yeah, showing your art to someone else, getting feedback, sleeping on it, looking at it with fresh eyes, really important. So that's kind of what I did with this piece, but I didn't have the time to update it until now. But then the plus side being that now that I know her character a little bit more, just because we've been playing, I feel like I can come at it like really strong and do like a really good, can really do justice to the character a bit better, right? Okay, so let's need to add some potions back in. So let's go to, I work non-destructively, so I still have all the old stuff in here. You can see how I pieced it together. Actually, this is kind of interesting. I knew I didn't have time to start over from scratch. Oh, thank you. Thank you, CK Pooh Bear. Your name's so funny. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're here to hang out with us too. And by the way, people have been drawing along while we do art streams. And if you draw along, please share your art in the Discord. We love to see everybody's art. Looking to make sure I didn't miss any art posts. I might have. But yeah, please, if you're drawing along at home or you're just doing your own thing, whatever you're doing, use this time to do something creative, right? You don't have to. You can also play video games. I'm not going to judge. But if you do want to do something creative while we're hanging out, throw it in the Discord and show it off. Okay, so the way I did this new pose is like, I don't have time to start over. I can't start from scratch. I just don't have the time or energy. So I pieced her together. So this is... I like duplicated, I flattened and duplicated it and then masked things off. So she's sort of Frankensteined together. So here's like one leg, here's the skirt, there's the other leg, there's the top of the head. I did a paint over for the face. Here's like the colors that I filled in. You can see like what I did, right? So it's a little bit like crazy, but I don't know what this one's even doing. Oh, I know what this was. Yeah, we did some color adjusting just to try and like, I was trying to play with colors to see what looked right. This one's her lips. So this was, I felt like her lips needed a little more, but like a pink to them. Did a color adjustment layer, and then Mac wanted her to have a little bit more of like a smile, like a little smirk. So we added that in. And then I changed the hue of the bottom skirt to add a little bit more balance and visual interest to her outfit. This character is a wizard. So technically she can do a lot of different types of magic. But she's a pirate and she's like a ship mage. So her job is to be the ship's mage, to cast magic to defend or to attack anything that would try to damage or hurt the ship. Which is perfectly valid for those kinds of adjustments though. What do you mean, Nina? You can see I haven't deleted some of the old layers yet because I wasn't sure yet if I wanted to keep them, but I think I am gonna end up deleting them. So, first things first, let me get the potion bottles back in. Let's close this one. We don't need this one anymore. This way we can focus. and I've got the copy here, and it's pretty much flattened. I'm gonna flatten it to be safe. No, not what I want to do. And I'm going to copy these potions. We're just gonna grab this chunk and copy it back over to the new piece so I don't have to start over. Okay, so now we just need to get it back into place where it needs to go. And we rotated things a little bit, so it's gonna be a little hard to get them lined up exactly right, but we're gonna do the best we can. Swear, my microphone picks up so much stuff, but only I can hear it because the noise canceling fixes it. That sounds so annoying to me. Does she need like a glowing scimitar? She does not use one, so no, that wouldn't be the kind of thing that she does. She does more like, well, I know Mac's favorite spell is like Fireball, but so far her spells have been very utility, and she has a lot of like, her character is very much more of like a charm person, like turn invisible and sneak around, charm someone. She has some sort of like augury or fortune telling vibes, like she can like see the future. I don't actually know what her stats are for that though, because we don't know yet. Yeah, no worries. Oh no, you don't have to be quiet. It's a really cool idea, but it is harder when it's a already established character that I'm drawing for someone else. There's less room for me to add in what would feel cool, you know? I think that's one of the both fun and difficult things of doing character art for other people, is that you have to balance what you think would look cool, but make sure it's stuff that they want, because this is their character that they have formed in their head. Like they have created this character, and it's your job as the character artist to bring their concept and their idea to life. So it adds a lot of complexity to illustration, because you're not just drawing what you want or a character for you, right? Divination school, maybe. Yeah, we don't know yet. These are things that we still don't know because we're still early in the campaign. If you want to get to know Taj better, come hang out on Fridays, which is when we stream C&C, Casters and Cantrips, every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, I just did so much talking and I ate so much kimchi soup. I need to go get a water refill, so we're gonna just be right back. Let me zoom out so you guys can look at the full art while I'm AFK, and I will be right back. Okay, so back. I had to stop and pet both of my dogs before I was fully back. You could, Marcolette, you were thinking divination wizard too. Ooh, did the DM let something? I missed that. I want you to draw. Why don't you draw a pretty mermaid boy instead of like a mermaid girl? We need more pretty merboys. Yeah, I missed it too. I don't know what Max said. Ooh, portent. Yeah. Yeah, what about like a K-drama merboy? Is a divination wizard thing? Okay, then she has to be, yeah. I also think we also started with feats, I think. I don't think we know what feats she has, so it's hard to say for sure. Are you beeping? Sorry, something was beeping. I don't know. Better for us not to know. In the place of Ariel in the cave singing my fave song from Little Mermaid. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? No, it's not a whole new world. Part of your world, a part of their world, part of that world. Something like that. It's such a good song though. Let's get these potions placed properly. That's what we're working on. I forgot. So this is here. That's pretty close. But I want to lose the top pouches. I don't think they're adding anything to the visuals. So we're going to go in and mask that out. Oops. And I'm going to go ahead and mask out on the side too. Just so that it's clear. That's just the potions on this layer. I'm actually going to bring them up a little bit and then I'll fix that gap later. Cool. So now what we need to do is I'm going to do a little overpaint to fix that. And then we're going to go in and fix the lines for the shirt. And then we'll do an overpaint over the whole thing to fix a bunch of stuff. Part of a whole new world. But make him a necromancer who summons dead sea creatures from the depths of the ocean. But he's singing about his stuff he's collected. Yeah, you do like horror themes, don't you? Yeah, that's perfect. I had my dragon I played in that one game, Village, was she collected dead things, remember? She was like obsessed with death and collected like her hoard was like taxidermy and skeletons and scarabs and all that stuff. Yeah. What if Ariel was the bad guy? It reminds me of the Ariel art I never finished. I need to finish that. Should we do that next stream maybe? We could do that. Although I have another D&D character art I was going to start next. Usually I work really like systematically, so it's easy to like edit things, but this is really fun because it's like more just more like traditional painting right now, which is kind of nice to do every now and then. I'm gonna come back and fix a lot of this, but I'm just roughing it in real quick to make sure that I'm happy with it, right? Small cannonball under her left foot, kind of like a Captain Morgan pose. I like that, but I would have to like change her pose, which I'm not gonna do. But it's totally like the Captain Morgan, which I love. I love that so much. Yeah, it was the perfect mental image. I agree. So let's take a look at that and see how we feel. It's definitely better. We need to add some of this behind the glass because it's looked weird. Actually, we could also just make the push it more full, which I think would be better. We'll fix that later. So that's better. Let's add this back in. Satchel bag here. All right, cool. So that's better. Getting a softer brush out now so we can do some more detail work. What I'm going to do before I fix the line work on top, I'm going to go ahead and mask out some of these areas that I wanted to fix a little bit. I know, Chiba, it's so much. I'm working on it too, and it's so, that's the set I'm on right now. I just finished, I think I have one item left for the moon weaver, moon I forget what it's called. And I just finished my industrial set. So I think Bellflower is next. And then after that, I'll be working on the dragon one. Oh, the moon door. No, it's a set of furniture from Palia, which we've been playing. So what I'm going to do is now that I have this all in one layer, I'm actually going to just put all of this in a single layer. So we now have the character art all here. I'm going to relabel it. You're too busy making horses to know anything about Palia. You should play it. It's so fun. I'm gonna get rid of that magic glow. We don't need that anymore. We also don't really need the sketch layers. I think I'm gonna get rid of those too. We have them in the other file if we need them. I'm just trying to clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna lock the shadow because I feel okay about that. Okay. I'll get rid of that too. So now that we've got all our character art in one folder, we can Bay Farm that's like Animal. Well, if you want to play something like Animal Crossing, just play Palia. Why do you hate it? Why do you hate us, Village? Why don't you want to be our friend? Just kidding. You don't have to play it. Just like hanging out with you. saw this and I want to fix it a little bit. It's a little bit. Glass is hard to draw. You just need to play Rune Factory until you die. It didn't look enticing. That's okay. I like it because it's not good, but that's not the point. What does that mean? What does that mean? Chiva. What does that mean? I don't need that either. Get rid of it to keep things clean. Just labeling some things so that I can not get confused later. The art makes you think of WildStar and you're still way too salty about that game. Oh, why were you salty about WildStar? Did I forget something? Is that the one that you worked on? I can't remember. It's not a great game, but it doesn't need to be. I feel like it hits the right spot for me in a lot of ways, but they are missing stuff. So I'm hoping it gets better. So I think that yeah, the Maji market's a little bit like lacking. I'm hoping they fix the Choppa Chase because it's a little bit just like it's too difficult and it's not as cooperative as I feel like it should be for a game that's really trying to push the cooperative gameplay. It was a good game with a lot of potential, but they ruined themselves when they tried to be hardcore and neglected their fan base, so it imploded from the inside. Okay. Thankfully, yeah. But for me, Palia, I enjoy all the stuff that I do in it. I enjoy the like cooperativeness of it. And I generally enjoy the art style. I do think there's a lot of improvements to be made. So, but it sounds like they're doing that, so we'll see. These are some old hand drawings. I was trying to get the hand pose right. It's just one of those I'm not using. Just labeling things clearly. Pull some of this out of here. Put it on a different layer. Okay, so I found the layer I was looking for. What we're gonna do is we're going to turn the transparency down on that, and then I'm going to trace over it to get some cleaner lines. too far. I think I'm gonna turn the, just because it's a little hard to see my lines. There we go. That's gonna be easier. I had really fun combat for an MMO. Yeah, I never played it, but I've heard good things. The endgame content absolutely killed the game. That's so sad because that's like, it sucks to know that like they just couldn't like land the finish, like the final, you know? They had the problem where they wanted the game to be the hardcore vanilla WoW fantasy for players, but that was only a margin of their players. What do you mean hardcore vanilla WoW fantasy? Like they wanted that sort of like what that game was when it first launched? It left the rest of their player base with nothing to do and it got super grindy at the end. Yeah. It's just the hard thing about MMOs in general is you have to constantly kind of be evolving the game while also keeping it the same. It's like really hard. The Uber raids, I see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, not for everybody. Uber dungeons. I enjoy doing raids and dungeons, but like they're never gonna be for everybody. So it's hard. You have yet to find the MMO that doesn't turn into super grindy. I don't think WoW's super grindy. Do you think it is? It's grindy if you're trying to always be at the top of the charts because like you're constantly having to get new gear. But if you don't care, you can just like do other stuff and like wait until you feel like playing and then get, because they always do catch up mechanics. I don't know, but I'm super biased. I'm super biased. Does Final Fantasy get grindy towards the end? I don't know. I haven't made it to endgame, so I'm curious what people think. Hands have been like, I used to be pretty good at hands, I feel like, but I feel like lately I've been struggling with them so much. Have you guys noticed that? It's weird to have something that I felt like I was like solid at and I'm just like not able to do it right now. Like this is not looking good. I don't know. Probably just gonna like sub it in real quick and then do a paint over later because I just want to like kind of keep moving forward. Already feeling like so much better about this. It's not perfect, but compared to how it was, it's like so much better. Hey, tumor boy, how are you? Oh, she's pretty. Oh, thank you. It was a good run, Bun Bun. Oh no. Oh no, I've been replaced by AI. Sorry, I got really focused and stopped paying attention to chat like I tend to do when I get really into the art. You enjoy them now because they're more accessible for many players, but the pre-Panda dungeons at their release is the difficulty they were going for. The kind where you're throwing your party at a dungeon for a month to even beat. Oh, that's just too much, yeah. Oh really, Chiba? I stopped Final Fantasy because I started falling behind and couldn't keep up grinding older content for the tokens to upgrade my gear. Got tired. Yeah, I'm still playing Final Fantasy, but I'm just like going through the story and I don't really care if I'm good at it. But that's every MMO. They kind of have to do that, right? They have to constantly be like, because that's what some players care about. So it's hard. That's why I'm really interested in like Palia to see what happens with it. Is I'm interested in an MMO where there isn't like where gear is not the end game. I'm very interested in that. So I'm sticking with it to see how I feel, but we'll see. We will see. Beep boop. Oh man, is that because I'm an AI? I don't want to be an AI. I just learned what cottage bacon is. That's interesting. I feel like your personal plot will always be the end goal and it's just what you make of it. Yeah, like I'm really into that. And I really want to like, I'm hoping it still feels good. I'm really into that. It's kind of like how Animal Crossing was. But I do worry like, at what point will I just not want to decorate? I mean, I guess you can buy more plots. You can always like, oh, well, I'll just do a new one. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how it progresses. I'm very curious, just from like a game dev standpoint. This up stuff. Okay, it's better. Would we decide that her belly button would look right? Like right there? Does that look right? What do you guys think? Is that too high? I don't know. Let's finish it. We can always move it later. Belly buttons are hard. Their placement can be in lots of different places. Make it an Audi. There you go. Watch Mac be like, no, she would not have an Audi. So funny. I'm going to finish her hair over here, and then we'll do a quick look to see what there's any other line work we need to fix. But then it'll just be masking out some stuff to make sure like the movement, like the wind in her hair and stuff looks right. And then we can go in and add our colors, and then we're like almost done. Did want a little bit of her hair. Front. Not being super picky about some of the lines that I know I'm really going to be going over a lot anyways. For example, the hair and the jewelry. Because we know that we're going to go back over and make those look more neutrally anyways. I don't like jewelry to look super heavy, so I tend to go back over and just like kind of paint it on to give it that lighter feeling. And then I want her to have a bunch of rings on, so let's do that. I was thinking the same on this hand, which will actually help us hide some of the weird spots, I think. All right, so we did the new lines, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. Oh my gosh, Raid, hello, Blue Cottage D&D, hello, how is your all's game? My gosh, how was it? Did everyone make it out okay? How are you all? Hello, Castro's Falcon, hello. Bearsy Poo, hello. Ole, hello. Ole, I like that name. Sorry if I mispronounce anyone's name. I'm just going through quickly. Triple Dub X, how are you? Midnight Stray Candle Co, hello. How are you? How is everyone? Is cares you? Hello. House 3, hello. We rocked it, but it's not over yet. Uh-oh. Barely made it. Oh no. Thank you so much for the raid. If you all love D&D games, go and check out Blue Cottage D&D. They play, do you guys play twice a week, I think? I know you play on the days that I can never make it because we have streams going on. But if you like watching D&D games, go and check them out. Triple Dove X, thank you so much. Yeah, hi, welcome everyone. Welcome. If anyone's new here, I'm working on character art for our season 2 campaign. We have new characters this season, and we did the character art, and then I decided this one needed a redo, an update. So we're updating this character art. We might update some of the other characters too, but I'm waiting to see. Maybe if they get maybe like an outfit change, I don't know. But we're fixing this one because I wasn't happy with it, and it's my art, so I can do what I want. So there. You love your coloring and style. Oh, thank you so much. I'm really feeling good about this piece. I was not happy with the original, and I'm feeling so much better. Yeah, do what you want. That's my advice for artists. If it's your art, there's no rules for your art. As long as you're not stealing or hurting anyone, just do what you want. There's no rules. There's no rules at all. So Amen says, yeah, I just think the important thing about art is to make sure that you're doing art and being creative. If that means you're doing the weirdest thing, if you're working with the weirdest, if you're using Microsoft Paint and a copy machine to do your art, like who cares? You got to upgrade from stick figures. Hey, we all start with stick figures, you know, we all do. we were sharing, if you like art or if you're an artist and you want to share art in our Discord, we were sharing, a lot of us were sharing our old like middle school art and our early digital art and and I shared some of my like preschool art. We've been sharing a lot of flashbacks to middle school. I know. I need to find art. I need to find my Evangelion fan art first and share that. And I need to find the Sailor Scout I made up. I had my own Sailor Scout that I made up and I drew her all the time. I decided that they didn't have like they needed like a Sailor Moon, but if she was a little more like punk rock kind of thing. So I made up a Sailor Scout called Sailor X, like Planet X, right? And this is so lame that I'm saying it out loud, but I thought she was the coolest. And she had like blue or green hair, I forget. And she was she was like an alien that chose to look like humans or something. I don't know. I was really into Sailor Moon and the X-Files. So I think my brain tried to like combine these things. I don't know. You'll share my comic battle comics if Chiba submits the DBZ comics. Okay. We're having like an old art off in the Discord. I love it. All right. So I think I'm happy with the new lines, so we can hide the old ones. Hide and hide. Okay, and now we just need to put the colors back in. So we're gonna do another layer and we're gonna throw those in there, and then we'll go in and fix some of the other stuff that didn't quite work when I like kind of like merged it all together. You can see some stuff down at the bottom that's a little weird, so we'll fix that. X-Moon Sailor Files, yeah! I was like, those were the two things I was really into at that point in my life. I don't know. I was so into X-Files, you guys. Actually haven't been able to bring myself to watch the new season that they did not that long ago because I just like haven't been able to mentally put myself back in that spot. And I'm also like scared that I will like not like it, or I will, I don't know. I just haven't been able to bring myself to do it. It's the same problem I have with the new Evangelion they did. I didn't watch the newest remake with where they added the new pilot because I just like, I can't decide. Like, I'm just like too scared that I'll love it or I won't love it. Like, I just don't know. My brain can't quite wrap itself around it. So I just haven't watched it. I really need to just do it though, because that was that's my favorite anime. And I don't watch a lot of anime, but that one is my favorite. So we're gonna switch to an inky brush so that we can get these really nice flats in. And usually I'll do separate layers for each of the colors. We're not doing that this time. We're just gonna paint it in. Usually when you all see me work, I work really like carefully in layers, and it's because I really like to be able to like go in and like change things like colors, because if I'm working on someone's art, it's really common. And they're your clients. Like, even if you're doing it for free, her arm's too long, isn't it? I don't care. I'm moving forward. Can't stop me. I make the rules. Deal with it. I said, deal with it. Let's see. No, I think her hand's just too small. That's the problem. Is her hand too small? Someone tell me. My brain's stopped working. We're done tonight, though. I don't want to take a break. I mean, I will still sleep on it, but I want to like get a lot of it done tonight, if possible. The hands are mismatchy, but either size could work. Okay, so they're not the same size. It's not so much that either one's wrong. Is it because, so her hand that's up is bigger. Yeah, I'm gonna make this hand a little bigger because I think that's what's really bothering me. I think it's an easy fix if I do it. Do it right now. What do we think of that? Did that fix it? It's not like perfect, but I feel better about it. Yeah, like the palm. Yeah. Need to be bigger. Yeah. I'm trying to think if it needs to be like, oops, a little bit lower too. I think so. Just a little bit. For some reason my eyedropper tends to fail on me a lot the hot for it. I've never quite figured it out. It's like a lag issue or something. I don't know. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone in chat for helping. Not gonna worry about getting it perfect because again we're gonna end up painting over a lot of that to get it perfect later. So let's go back to our new colors and just finish roughing those in. And I can't do my shadows the way I did them for the other parts because we'd have to like sit here and try to like match it through a multiply layer. So we're gonna do it like a more traditional way. So if I want a shadow, I'm gonna eyedropper the color of the same type of shadow elsewhere in the piece, and we're gonna just like paint it in. So I'm working a lot more in like a, if I were working with a traditional medium in some ways. Not quite, because you can still do like washes and things in traditional mediums, but it's definitely different than I usually work for character art. I do kind of want to do another like really painterly piece soon. And I have this piece planned that is not really D&D art, but it's D&D adjacent, and I might use it for one of the games I'm gonna run, and that makes it count. That makes it count, right? I can do that on stream, right? I guess it doesn't really matter. I can just kind of do whatever I want, but I like to do D&D art. That's true. But I have this memory of this 100%. I have this memory of this children's book that I had when I was younger. It was an illustrated children's book, and don't remember the name of it, and I've tried to find it and I can't find it. If I could find it, I would just straight up buy it. I'd buy it right now. I'd buy the book. And I can't figure it out. I don't know what it is. Everything I've tried to search, I've tried looking on trying to figure out how to make her look like a little bit muscular, but not like something like that seems right. So I tried to find this fairy tale that this children's book was about, and I've come to the point where I don't think it was a clear version of an existing fairy tale, like the way that you can, like the Little Mermaid is an established fairy tale, and there are a lot of different versions of it. It's not like that as far as I can tell. So I'm having a lot of trouble finding it. But I was thinking it involves the Fae realm, which is D&D, and I'm going to be running a game that has to do with the Fae anyways. So why don't I do this art based on my memories, and then I could incorporate it in my game and use the art. So, and it might help me give me some cool ideas as I start to like flesh it out. So that's what I'm thinking. Tried looking on, like I asked people on like Reddit, I was like, has anybody heard of this children's fairy tale? Has anybody read this book? I've tried looking at it based on the art. I can't for the life of me. I just can't find it. So the next best thing is just to recreate it in my own world and then be happy. And I wish I still had the book, but my mom donated it to like the church or something. I don't know. But if anybody's ever read a fairy tale about a woman I don't know if the woman or the child was the main character, but it was a woman who had a little child. It was like a baby kind of character, like a little, like 2 years old baby. And there's something about a well in the woods. It's like a well or a pond. And there's an item that like falls in or comes from. It's either a golden rose or like a golden ball. I'm not sure. And the baby goes to the Fae realm, and the queen of the Fae is like gonna keep the baby with the child. And the mother wants to get the child back and sneaks into the Fae. And the queen of the Fae is there's like a Fae procession leading through the woods, and she's like showing the child all the wonderful delights of that realm. And I forget how it ends. I would love to know. And the closest fairy tales I can find, there are some that overlap with that, but then searching those doesn't give me anything useful. So it's not like, it's just not searchable. This is like a book that was popular before the internet was a thing, I guess. So I'm just gonna do some art of it. I was thinking it could be a scene of a young woman looking into a well, and there's a gold rose sitting on the surface of the water. I know, it's like so crazy, and I try it like every night. I feel like I'll just do like a quick internet search just to see if I can figure it out. And I remember this version of the book was beautiful. All I really want to do is find the art, but it had a very kind of like Rococo style art is what I remember. So I was thinking I could do my art kind of that style. And so the rose would be floating, or a gold ball. I haven't decided which I'm going to do. It would be floating in on the surface of the lake and the well. And but then you could see through to the other side, and there would be a beautiful queen of the Fae, Titania. And I haven't decided yet, but I might put the baby like in her arms, like she's holding it. I don't really like drawing babies, so we'll see how I feel about that. Just gonna eyedrop her these colors because I had them. Lots that I liked. Actually, we can take that on for. It's not. Can't figure out what this layer is. What is this layer? This is what happened. Oh, there's nothing on that layer. Okay. Explain it. Do you like drawing Pomeranians? Yeah, I'd rather draw a Pomeranian than a baby, but I do feel like a very cherub-like little girl is kind of important to the concept. So I think I'll draw it. I think I'll force myself, but it'll be a reflection in the water. So if it comes out looking squishy and weird, I can just be like, oh, it's because it's a reflection. So that'll help. You grew up in Germany and you have so many memories of obscure German kids books that no one here has a clue about. But I was so little, so I have no idea how much is memory versus my own fantasy from imagining things as a kid. Can't find half of that stuff anymore either. Oh yeah, that's exactly like the same vibe. I'm sorry. I feel so like empathetic for you right now. If you are sympathetic, I will say that I found a lot of really cool, just in doing research for what I was looking for, I did find a lot of really cool German fairy tales. The problem is you need to find the ones that are not the Brothers Grimm collections, and you need to find the ones that are not like Hans Christian Andersen. You have to find the stuff that wasn't their versions, but was before that. And then once you figure out how to search for those, you can sometimes find it. My favorite one, I luckily do still have the book. My favorite fairy tale book as a child was, what's it called? East of the Sun and West of the Moon. Is that the right name? And there are very many versions of that one. East of the Sun and West of the Moon was I think a Norwegian fairy tale, but it's been like updated and retold in many different versions. But I have a beautiful book that I read as a child and my dad would read to me that I still have, and I love it. I adore it. I'll have to post art from that later in the Discord to share. Yeah, unless you want to be traumatized. You mean like the old fairy tales? Yeah. I love fairy tales, and I love looking at the old versions of them, the ones that aren't Disney-fied. Even though I like Disney too. I'm actually a big Disney fangirl. I can't help it. I just love it. Village, are you familiar with that one? I actually think you'd really like it. East of the Sun and West of the Moon. It's a beautiful, beautiful fairy tale. Your grandma had a record with a reading of The Girl with the Matchsticks, and you still have nightmares about it once in a while. Oh, geez. I'm just going to show you guys right now because I just want to. And I don't care. It's my stream right now. I do what I want. I'll share more art later, but I'm just going to show you one from the book I grew up with. It's a really beautiful fairy tale. There's lots of different versions about it. And I know like the original one is something about like a girl and a bear. The one that I read, I don't think had that version. Oh, and another one that I finally found, I remember reading it in the library, and I think I finally found it, is from... I found the fairy tale. I didn't find the book because I was obsessed with this scene where a girl took a bath and the bath was supposed to be poisonous. There were poison frogs in it. And when she got into the bath, she was so beautiful that it turned the poison frogs into beautiful like lotus flowers. And I found the book. It's from, I don't remember the name. I have it saved, but it's about a girl and her brothers all get turned into swans. 7 swans? Something about the 7 swans. Something like that. Some of the stories it's 6. I don't know. But I did finally find that one. So I found one of them. I just haven't found this other. So East of the Sun and West of the Moon. Beautiful, beautiful art. Shouldn't show you the final scene. That would be like giving away the... I'm just gonna pull up the Google. This is the artwork. And like, look at this. Isn't this beautiful? I thought it was ravens though. I think there's a lot of different versions. I just love this art. Like, look at this. Beautiful art. It's gorgeous. This is from one of the first scenes. And I just think it's beautiful. I love this art. So I actually do own this book. And then I found out the artist has a version of Beauty and the Beast. So I recently ordered that because I never read that one. You strive to find examples of art like that as a kid, but it was impossible to look up. Yeah, I went to the library a lot, and I think I read their entire like fairy tales and fantasy section like multiple times. That's all I did because I was obsessed. To get kind of, I want it to be like a white shirt, but I decided to make it like kind of a light blue. But I might end up lightening it, like adding some white to it as well. We'll see. All my favorite books as a kid were fairy tale books that were gifted to me by like my grandma or my aunt, and they're both artists, so they all had like really good art. I think I showed you the Japanese artist version of Little Mermaid, but I grew up with the original story where she dies and turns into sea foam at the end. I was also obsessed with the Disney version, but like I knew the real version. I knew what happened to her. I knew that what true love got you in the end. I knew. Yeah, I've thought about maybe doing like, if I do that one drawing and it turns out well, I could do like a whole series of like based on like forgotten childhood memories and stories, because I have a couple that I'd love to just like recreate. And some I'll be able to find the sources and some I won't. I think that'd be like a really fun little series to work on. Just for fun. Forgotten fairy tales kind of thing. I do need to go over the lines to give them a little bit of color, because right now they're just like kind of dark. So we're going to do that, and then we're just going to work on the overpaint layer. Oh, I have to mask off some stuff at the bottom, but we're really close to being done. So this is just where I go and soften some of the dark lines by adding a little bit of color to them. It's going to be really apparent when I do it on the shirt here in a second. So this one's obviously really apparent. It's because I have to turn down the transparency. I think it's really important to do this for like skin, And anything that's like white or light colored, it'll like make a huge difference. Always kind of changing my for this one. This is one where I always recommend just like try different ways of doing this. And for some people, just having solid black lines works for them. I just personally, it can feel so off for some reason. So to some skin tones. Again, we're not stressing over the jewelry right now. It's gonna be kind of painting over that. Do need to finish that part of the scarf up there. Let's see. Turn these way down. See kind of the difference there. You knew of the Seafoam one? Yeah. It's like sad, but way more interesting. Okay, so now we're just going to mask out some of the stuff down here that I'm not happy with where it is right now, and then we will... What did I turn off that messed that up? Doesn't really matter, I can just fix it. There it is. That's what I had. It's just the rough colors. Okay, that's fine. Don't need that. I'm gonna go in and color some of this stuff on this layer. Huh. Ah, okay. A layer. I have this hue change layer down there doing something funky, so I need to do my new. I need to do a paint layer of it. So we're just gonna do it all next over paint. We're gonna do a couple of them. That's okay though. very tired, so I do apologize. I'm having trouble like remembering to talk. I'm just like zoned out and in painting mode. But everyone's having a good night. Want to fix that too. So what I'm going to do is we've got all of these character layers. I condensed them earlier because I knew I need to do this. I'm going to come in and just mask out where I think the skirt, like the silhouette, the shape of the fabric looks weird. And we're just going to go in and like really like trim it down in a couple places. It just doesn't feel like right to me. I'm just doing a little bit at a time so that I can just like kind of get a feel for it, see what feels right to me. Again, we're going to go back in and paint more back in to get the overall like shape feeling good, but we want to get the base feeling more correct. That definitely is feeling a little bit better, just the general silhouette. There's like kind of the before and after, and I'm going to add a little bit more to the other side actually, because the wind is blowing to the right, so the fabric should be flowing that way more. You've been thinking about drawing your current group's characters. Oh, you're the DM. And what was your process when figuring out how to draw each character? So we're going to go into that. Do you mind waiting 1 minute so I can run to the restroom? And then I'll talk about that while we finish this. I'll be right back, everyone. Thanks everyone for waiting. I'm back. So my process for doing character art for players, meaning it's art for another person who made the character. I do this a lot. I did commissions for a while. I've done commissions in the past. And so it's a lot like that. Doing paintings for your group, your party is a lot like doing commissions. The only difference being that they're maybe not paying you. And for some, that means maybe they don't have to be as like careful or specific about it, but I think everybody works a little differently. So it's about finding what works for you and what you're comfortable with. If you're doing it as a surprise for them, you might not be able to do what I'm about to talk through as my process. But there's also ways to get this information that's not like obvious why you're asking for it. So what I like to do is I like to talk to the players about their character and figure out what, like, make sure I have a good understanding of what's important to them to see in their character art. So for example, I talked to all the players. I asked everyone for this game, because they knew I was going to be doing character art so we could use it on stream. I asked everyone to please give me a good written description of their character, a little bit more detailed than what you might have on D&D Beyond, right? I asked them to give me that description, and then on top of that, I asked them to send me reference art. And by reference art, I mean any imagery, like make yourself a little Pinterest board, a little mood board, grab some images and throw them into like a thing in Microsoft Paint, or just send them to me individually. Give me some visual inspirations for your character. It could be character art of someone else's character that exists in the world. It could be a video game character that you like the look of. It could be just pictures of rocks. I don't know. I'll usually ask for that because I think people who aren't visual artists can sometimes not have a good vocabulary for describing the way their character should look, but they can easily find some pictures and say, well, I like this and I don't like this. And I ask for both. I'll say, if there's stuff that you like and stuff you don't like, send me both. And that's usually how I'll get started, is just like get those like kind of little mood board things put together. And then I'll take that and interpret it through my brain using the written description. They have brown hair and green eyes and pale skin and wear a black dress. I'll take those and I'll filter everything through my brain and make the art. It's kind of funny because I like just using, we were talking about AI the other day. What AI does is doing kind of a similar thing, but I'm using, you know, a human brain to kind of like come up with the final result, right? And I really like working that way because it lets me visualize what they're expecting to see a little bit better, because I want to make sure that I'm seeing what they're seeing in their head as much as I can. Because yeah, what I'm seeing is totally different than what they're seeing. And some people don't know what they want until they see it. So another important step for me is to always do a quick sketch and throw in some quick colors and send it to them and say, hey, does this look right? And give me some feedback. And that early initial feedback usually helps me fix any like major missteps that I have, or like something where I was like, oh, I was thinking this, but I just like completely misunderstood what they were going for. And those are kind of like the two major steps for me, is that early, getting that kind of early feedback and buy-in, and the other step of like getting some visual references from the person. And I'll just be like, go on Pinterest, go on ArtStation, grab whatever you want. Remember, you're not going to be copying whatever art they find, so it's totally okay. You're just using that to see like, what is their expectation? What is the vibe they're going for? And the colors, if you can do it digitally, you can rough those in really quick and get feedback on colors really easily. That's like a really easy win, to just rough the colors in and be like, hey, are these the colors you wanted? Because it's so easy to change them in Photoshop. If you're not working digitally, I would definitely get feedback before you do the colors and maybe give them like a little color swatch sheet before you fill in the colors permanently. Just say, hey, here's some colors I sketched in. Is this the color palette you like? Or there are color palette websites too. So you could tell them like, hey, will you make me a color palette that you feel is your character? And don't feel like you have to use every single color on there, but that can be a really good thing too, is a little like fun exercise for the players. I hope that helps. You might draw on paper, scan in quick color. Yeah, it's a great way to do it. But again, I think getting some visual references from people is really easy. And I think it's kind of fun for them too. Like people always come up with some really cool ideas once they start that exercise, things that they maybe wouldn't have thought beforehand. And again, when I filter it, I try to figure out what's important about the art to them. So for example, the reference photos sent to me for this character showed a lot of like these big flowy skirts, but they were all different lengths and different types, different patterns. One was like patchwork, but I was like, the vibe she wants though is these flowy skirts though. Like it was easy to pick up on that. Mac was actually really specific. She's commissioned art before, so she has a really good understanding of what to ask for. VS gave me much less specifics. He was like, I know I want the long dark cloak and I want this kind of like hooded character vibe. And the only thing he was really specific about was like the hair color and the coat. And I was like, okay, so that's what's important to him. And then I know that I've got wiggle room in other areas. And I think also asking them, if you don't already know, as the DM, you probably already know, once you know their character's personality, that can really help too. So like, for example, redoing this one is important because this character's personality ended up being very different than what I thought it would be. She's much more like flirty and sexy, but also kind of aloof. And so knowing that information helped me pick a much better pose for the character. And poses can really change a lot. Anyways, I hope that helped. I don't know if that helped. Hopefully that made some sort of sense. Yeah, anytime. And if you ever want feedback on the art, feel free to post it in the Discord. Like there are plenty of people here that would love to give feedback and help out because we're all about that here. Oops. Okay, so I've got all my flat colors in for the most part. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch to my softer brush and we're going to go in and just paint over everything. I'm going to do another overpaint layer and we're just going to go in and just like paint all these little areas and until we feel good about them. wanted her to have those like Cara Delevingne brows. So I went in and like kind of thickened them up. Do love painting hair. I think painting hair is like one of my favorite things that I don't always do on a character art piece. I'll like sometimes just be like, oh, I don't really have the time to really make it as detailed and pretty as I want, but I think I should be working harder to like make time for that because I've always loved doing it. Yeah, I'm in the zone. I'm also really tired. I apologize if it feels like I'm ignoring chat. I'm not. I'm just very much in the zone. But hopefully you all are just chilling and vibing, and that's fine. We're all just hanging out, right? I'm just chilling. That's the whole point of these art streams, is to just be chill. It's really fun to just get to be like really painterly like I'm doing now, but it's just like, it is so easy to zone out when I'm working this way. You're just painting a merboy. Nice, I can't wait to see him. Does he have a name yet? Can I name him? Is he a Morbius? Is he Morbin? He needs like a goth boy name. It's not horse milk. Get out of here. Why you do this to me? He's not Morbin. He's not a morbid boy. Morbid goth boy. I'm gonna do something I don't normally do for magic. I just want to like play with this. See how I feel about it. Yeah, I actually really like that. Just was like thinking like I don't really like painting super realistic like magic, but I was like, why don't I just lean into like a more artsy brushstroke vibe, right? So I'm just gonna like do this and then see how I feel about it, and I can always change it later. So yeah, I kind of like that. It's just like, I don't know, it's more my vibe in a way. I think I just need to do like her bracelets and then a little bit more painter work on the skirt. And we're like pretty much done. I do need do a little bit more work on the cushions, I think. Almost done. Just adding some highlights, and then I gotta go in and do like her slits. Think I'm done. Again, we're gonna learn from our mistakes. I'm gonna sleep on it this time and see how I feel. But it definitely feels a lot better than it did. Definitely like vibing with it a lot better. Pose is good. The colors are good. I could go in and do a little more paint work on like some parts, but I also don't want it to look weird when I put it in the lineup with the other characters. Feel a lot better about it. I feel like she needs some more shadow and stuff like in her chest area. There's something like a little transparent in the skirt. Yeah, I feel like I kind of want to play that up a little bit more, but I'm also like, I don't want to like kill myself over it, but I was like trying to make like the background colors like come through a little bit, just so it looks like there's some transparency to the fabric, like light's coming through a little bit. No, I thought there'd be something really cool about that. bring like the pants underneath a little bit more. Yeah. No worries. Good night, Triple Dubx. Thank you so much for hanging out. Yeah, no worries. I know it's late for me, and it's even later for plenty of folks around the world. Although early for Nina, maybe. I don't know. Is it there? I can never keep it straight. I'm sorry. So bad. Her eyes are still, this is something off. They're like still a little even. Can't I get these? when in doubt, just add more eyeliner. Am I right, gals? Let's see how that looks. It's definitely better. Okay, I'm gonna sleep on it. I think this is good for tonight. I may do a couple tweaks to it before I post it, but stay tuned. I'll post it on socials soon. And yeah, the pose does so much for the fitting with the characters. I know, right? Like I feel like I needed to. It was the pose that was like the biggest sin of the old piece, and I had to get that right. And then getting that right just does so much, right? It does so much heavy lifting, which I love. It just shows how important like a good getting that initial pose right. It's so important. Just gonna kind of go over this a little bit. I think I'm done. I could probably work on it for forever, but I think I need to call it and then see how I feel tomorrow. Oh, did you post the merman sketch? I'll have to check it out. You definitely use eyeliner I use eyeliner to fix eye shapes in real life, so I feel like I can use it in art. It's one of my favorite artists. Oh, Bryn, hello. Thank you. How are you doing tonight or this morning? Or I don't know what time of day it is for you. I know it's early for Nina, right? Nina, you're like, it's like lunchtime for you? No. I don't know anything. I know that it's almost 10 here, so I need to go so I can get ready for bed and be like, probably play little video games, but I need to be like settling down. It's 1:54, supposed to be asleep. Yeah, I need to go to bed. You're gonna ruin him with coloring? Coloring. I was like, what? All right, well, thanks everyone for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna send this over to Mac and see if she likes the new art. I might do a couple more tweaks before it's done, but it's not enough to like spend time on stream with. I have a personal character I need to do art for another game that I'm in. We might do her on stream next week, but we also need to finish the Tome of Knowledge. We're doing a new logo for them. So I'm gonna be working on one of those next week, but I'm not sure which. So yeah, stay tuned. It'll just kind of be what I'm in the mood for probably. But we will be back on Friday with the next episode of Casters and Cantrips. We just finished that dungeon last time, so we have like money and loot and also like some questions. Like there was some lore there. I don't know if people caught it. Emmy picked up on it, so that's stuff that I might be bringing up next session. So make sure you all tune in if you want to see what's going on there. And yeah, I'll see you all on Friday. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's see if there's anyone to raid. Is GGN is my best friend Boobs on? It looks like he's doing some fishing. He's playing a literal fishing game and has a fishing hat on. Okay, we are gonna go raid Moobs. We're gonna go do some fishing. For those that don't know, Moobs is over on the GGN crew and he plays Azric in our Friday game. So I really like to give him a little bit of love since we're all one big happy D&D family. Thank you everyone for the raids. Thank you for hanging out. Sorry if I missed anything in chat. I was very focused on the art tonight. And yeah, I don't know. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let's go raid.